And welcome back to the Ben Motorsport Park. Pre-finals continuing on here for the grand final of the Rotax Pro Tour with thanks to Freem Karting. The DD2 Masters category is out on circuit. Scotty Howard, the number 39, will start on the pole position. Troy Woolston, the number 1 on the outside front row. Second row of the grid, the 68 of Chris Walton and the 31 of Ashley Seaward. Out of position number 5 is the 12 of Terry Hanley with Trevor Whitby in the 32 out of 6. Out of 7s, Josh Willett in the 98. The 35 of Jason Pringle. He will start from 8th position with Ben Lillis in the 79 from 9. The 99 of Matt Hall out of 10. And Gary Haywood starting from 11th on the grid. So they bring them around. Howard yesterday was pretty good. Had a DNF in the second heat. Took out the other two though. Troy Woolston, the world champion. Great to have Troy with us, the outgoing world champion. Although he's at the top of the point standings, he won't be going to defend the world championship this year. Set for a start. We're away for 16 laps here. Ashley Seaward was good yesterday. Crossed the line first in the third heat. However, had a post-race infringement, which knocked him down the order a bit. Chris Walton's got a good start there from 4th. He's got himself into 2nd place. Working their way through the middle part of this first lap. Oh, and one has gone through the dirt there. I think that could have been Seaward. They start winding their way back into the main stadium area here at the Ben Motorsport Park Karting Complex. Walton under attack here as they come back to the front stretch. That's the 99 of Matthew Hall. Where's he come from? Okay, we've got a bit of ducks and drakes going on with the tyres out there. So Matthew Hall on a different tyre strategy. He's got himself into 2nd spot. So Hall in his first Rotax Pro Tour DD2 Masters event. Into 2nd, coming up onto the tail of the world champion Troy Woolston, who leads the way. Scott Howard dropped back to 8th from the pole position. So drama for Howard in the early stages of this one. Watch out for Walton here on Hall around the outside. Walton did it pretty easy in the end around the outside there of Hall. In fact, that was Woolston, not Hall, I should say, as they come back to the front straight away. Hall in the 99. He leads the way. Walton in 2nd spot. Woolston in 3rd. 4th place is Trevor Whitby. He was good yesterday. He's got Ash Seaward behind him. Then Jason Pringle. Hall of 59.497 that time through. As now Walton goes around the outside and takes the lead. So Walton in the Z course. Comp Kart leads the way. Hall fights back up the inside. The door gets shut in his face by Chris Walton. Now he tries again around the outside. Gets it done. Sticks it around the outside does Matthew Hall. Working their way back to the front stretch. Woolston catching up onto the tail of Hall and Walton as they come back to the front straight away. Hall trying to pull away here from the 68 of Walton. 13 laps to go in this pre-final. Dry line really starting to show now on the racetrack, particularly on the front stretch. While through the middle part of the lap, it's still very, very damp out there. So working their way through the middle sector of the racetrack they go. Matt Hall, where has this come from? He started on the 2nd last row of the grid. Got through the field in very short order. Then assumed the lead. And now Walton back up on it. Chris Walton, of course, a multiple V8 Utes champion a few years ago, both here in Australia and New Zealand. Races just about every weekend. Some form of karting or another. Gee, he had a run going through into turn number 2 there, but had to pull out of it. He's got the run now, though, on Matt Hall. The world champion Troy Woolston keeping a watching brief back there in 3rd spot. He would love dearly to finish his time with the world number 1 with a race win. Troy Woolston. Through the mid part of the race circuit they go. Walton all over the back of Hall. He put a wheel wide there, which opened it up for the 99 to pull a slight gap. Walton will be getting frustrated sitting there in 2nd spot. Just tries for the outside move. Troy Woolston. He's closing up now as well. Woolston's the fastest driver on circuit. It's just done a 56.699. It's nearly it's 3/10 faster than what Hall was. 2/10 faster than Walton. So watch out for the world champion sitting there in 3rd. He goes up the inside of Hall, who runs wide. So Woolston goes to 2nd spot now, behind Chris Walton. Scotty Howard's got himself up to 4th place. He's in front of Jason Pringle, then Trevor Whitby. Ashley Seward's in 7th with Josh Willett. Terry Hanley and Ben Lillis, the rest of the runners. So it's the Walton and Woolston show yet again. These two, how many times have we seen this over the last 2 years? Going at it right around the country. They come to a brand new facility in the Ben Motorsport Park. And it's where it always has been. Another new fastest lap for Walton, a 56.223. Woolston was good through the middle sector of the racetrack. So Walton trying to open up a gap on Woolston. Has done the fastest 2 sectors of anyone to this point. Woolston's done 2 personal best sectors so far. Hall's dropped off the back of them in 3rd spot. Doesn't have the pace to go with the super experienced DD2 Masters drivers, Walton and Woolston. Howard sitting back there in 3rd. Gee, that was a good final sector from Troy Woolston. Walton had the fastest lap of the race, only to be eclipsed straight away by Woolston with a 54.655. 9 laps to go in this one. Not quite at the halfway point just yet. Woolston, he checked himself up in 2nd spot there. Ranged up onto the tail of our race leader, Walton, who's had his own little moment there, going through the left-hander, runs a bit wide, so it's status quo. They're back to where they were, and it's game on at the front again. Neither of them have had the cleanest lap, both having their own issues in various parts. Back to the front stretch they come. Woolston's right on the tail of Walton now, and down the front straight away they go. Woolston and Walton nose to tail. They're well and truly in front of our 3rd place man, Matthew Hall. It's hard to believe that he was actually leading this race at some point. Woolston right there with our race leader. Now Woolston all over the tail of Walton. It's Queensland versus Victoria. The Queenslander, Walton leads the way. Woolston, the Victorian world champion. He's there in 2nd spot. Freem Karting bringing you Rotax DD2 Masters. On the front straight away they go. 7 laps remaining now. Still anyone's game here. Matt Hall still in 3rd spot, but he's miles behind the 2 out in front. Lapping around 4 seconds a lap slower than them at the moment. It won't be too much longer till Scott Howard starts to throw out the challenge for third spot. He's taken 4 seconds out of Matthew Hall on that lap through. Howard just off the pace of our race leaders at the moment. Walton leading the way. He's got a slight gap over Woolston. He's really extended it heading into the Mojo section. Back to the front stretch they come. The gap's now to 0.8 of a second between our top two. Walton's just done a 53.296 to be the fastest of anyone out there. Got a good battle going on for third now. So Walton pulling out in front. Oh, problem for Pringle further back. Not quite sure what happened to JP there. He lost all sorts of pace. I don't know if he just got offline and copped a bit of water. So Howard's got that third place as Walton's leads open up to 3.1 seconds with 5 laps to go. Howard's moved into third past Hall. Pringle trying to recover from whatever happened on that previous lap. Trevor Whitby the next one through. Then it's Joshua Lett and Ashley Seward. They're the runners at this stage. Oh, I've had a problem for Woolston. He's gone wide in a tricky left-hander, and that's really opened it up for Walton now up the front. So just off camera, Troy Woolston's had a moment, and that's really cost him a lot of time to our race leader, Chris Walton. But with how tricky the track conditions are at the moment, anything is likely to happen. And Walton could very well do the same thing. There is a dry line out there. However, offline, it is still incredibly wet. The battle for fifth is on now between Matt Hall and Trevor Whitby. Walton continuing to march on up the front. Here's the battle for fifth now. Hall, who led the early stages of this race, is now under attack from Trevor Whitby, who looks up the inside, but Hall says, no, you're not going through to Sayre. And now he goes around the outside as Whitby and gets it done, so he moves into position number 5. Hall struggling out there. They've gone with the wrong tyre choice. It was correct at the start of the race, but not so now that we're 12 or 13 laps into this 16-lap affair. Howard's done the fastest middle sector of anybody on the previous lap. Hall's just about given up the ghost, I think, out there. Back to see who's next on the shopping list for him, and that'd be Josh Willett in the Formula K. Walton about to lap Terry Hanley out there in this one. Just 2 laps to go for our race leader. He's got a 7-second margin over Troy Woolston. He'll only have 1 more lap to go when he crosses the line the next time, Chris Walton. There's a battle between Josh Willett and Ashley Seward. Willett's been a real stalwart of the Rotax Pro Tour over the years. Ash Seward, of course, Ash Seward Motorsport preparing Porsche Carrera Cup and Porsche GT3 Challenge cars have raced on the main circuit down here, and now the team principal gets to come and play. As now just one more lap to go for our race leader, the 68 of Chris Walton. He's through turn 1 and into turn number 2. Woolston's about to put a lap on Tezza Hanley as well. So Walton, it's been a great battle. It was a good drive, good battle between him and Woolston there earlier on. However, Walton's put the foot down and said, this is my territory. I'm going to take the pole position for the final a bit later on today. As he comes around, the checkered flag is at the ready for the driver of the 68 machine. Onto the front stretch they come. And checkered flag is out, and Walton gets it done. Waiting on now for second place, Troy Woolston to come to the line. He gets a second. In fact, Jason Pringle's been able to get himself back up and has got Scott Howard on the final lap. So a change for third with Pringle getting through on Scott Howard. Then Trevor Whitby, he's had a solid weekend. He comes home in 5th spot. He'll be followed by Hall, Willett, Seawood and Hanley in DD2 Masters. That's their pre-final done and dusted, with thanks to Freem Karting for bringing us DD2 Masters here at the Rotax Pro Tour, presented by Tough As.